Welcome to Kansas Ag Report with your host, Bryan Hallman.
Welcome to Kansas Ag Report. I'm Bryan Hallman, and here's our lineup for today's show. In Ag News, we'll take a look at local and national headlines affecting Kansas farmers. In our Ag Feature, we'll sit down with Tracy Streeter from the Kansas Water Office to discuss the new Drought Declaration and the 50-year water plan. Inside Kansas Ag has a report from K-State Research and Extension on feeding the world. And in news you need to know, Todd Domer has our weekly update from the Kansas Livestock Association. We'll look back at last week's market activity with the guys from Paragon, and we'll let you know about important events coming up around the state of Kansas. Glad you could join us.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Here's our national headlines for this week in Ag News. Ag Secretary Tom Vilsack announced that the USDA plans to provide up to $13 million in grants to expand broadband services in rural areas. The USDA's Community Connect grant program is accepting applications from providers who serve areas where broadband does not yet exist. Go to usda.gov for information about the grant program. The American Soybean Association and DuPont are seeking applicants for the 2015 ASA DuPont Young Leader Program. The program is aimed at strengthening young soybean growers' leadership skills, expanding their agricultural knowledge, and fostering peer relationships with soy growers across the U.S. Trainings will first take place in Johnston, Iowa, November 18th through the 21st, and then February 24th through the 28th in Phoenix, Arizona. Applications are being accepted online at soygrowers.com. By nearly a unanimous vote, the House of Representatives passed the Water Resources Reform and Development Act, which is intended to improve harbor maintenance of the nation's inland waterways. The locks and dams used to transport cargo today were built in the 20s and 30s and are in need of major repairs and maintenance. This legislation is crucial to farmers as more than 60% of the nation's grain exports are transported by barge. And in local news, despite recent rains, drought conditions in Kansas continue to worsen. Last week, Governor Brownback updated the Drought Declaration for Kansas counties, which now includes all 105 counties either in emergency, warning, or watch statuses. The update has moved 23 counties into the watch status, 26 counties are in the warning status, and 56 counties are in the emergency status. This action was recommended by Tracy Streeter, Director of the Kansas Water Office and Chair of the Governor's Drought Response Team. Crop producers in Johnson County experienced lower than expected profit margins in the first quarter of 2014. Lower corn and soybean prices, combined with higher input costs, tempered farm income and cropland values. In addition, winter wheat growers were concerned that poor yields would limit profits despite a rally in the wheat price. In contrast, high cattle and hog prices, coupled with lower feed costs, improved profit margins for cattle and hog operations. Folks in Hayesville and 6 other communities in Kansas will soon know precisely how much rain fell and what the wind speeds were in recent storms. The Kansas Weather Data Library is adding weather stations in these areas which will detect and record precipitation, air and soil temperatures, wind direction, and speed. This data is available at ksre.ksu.edu/WDL. Up next in our Ag Feature, we'll sit down with Tracy Streeter from the Kansas Water Office to discuss the new Drought Declaration and the 50-year water plan. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. Please stay tuned. If you'd like to advertise your business on Kansas Ag Report, give us a call at 785-554-5974.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com. RenzeSeeds.com.
A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. igpawn.com to learn more. Kansas Weed Commission, leaders in the adoption of profitable innovations for weeds. Online at kswheat.com.
Over the past 30 years, Dick Edwards in Manhattan has been building strong personal relationships, starting the moment you walk through the door with a sales team committed to meeting your car buying needs and carrying over into our service department with technicians able to handle all of your vehicle's upkeep. We've always been upfront and honest with our pricing, offering amazing financing offers and warranty packages. If you've shopped with us before, you know that the customer always comes first. Stop in and see us. Dick Edwards in Manhattan, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
American innovation is being driven in places you might not expect by people like Brent Hayek, an Oklahoma family farmer who recently set a world land speed record in a Ford Super Duty pickup truck powered by renewable B20 biodiesel. Advanced performance is here now, putting America on the fast track to more jobs and energy independence. Biodiesel, America's advanced biofuel.
At Ag Risk Solutions, we have been helping our clients make better crop insurance decisions since 1981. We always focus on helping you find the best coverage options for your farm, and it will give you peace of mind knowing you have a partner you can trust. To learn more about our agency, please visit our website, like us on Facebook, or follow us on Twitter. Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution.
Ag Risk Solutions is an equal opportunity provider.
Trending now at Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Kia and Dodge, Ford and Jeep, all at one location. Kia, affordable, stylish, reliable. Ram, rugged, spacious, powerful. Ford, legendary, dependable, tough. Jeep, off-road, on-road, limitless possibilities. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, I-70 and Highway 77 in Junction City.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Tracy, thanks for joining us this morning. Governor made a declaration last week, added 23 new counties to drought. What does that mean?
Well, the previous drought declaration status was as of August of last year, and back then we had significant rains in central Kansas and southeast Kansas, which prompted us to recommend to the governor to take a number of counties out of drought status of any kind, be virtually drought-free. Well, in the span of 6 months or 8 months, we are now finding that conditions are worsening, and so the drought response team met last week, and we received input from the state climatologist and looked at our climatological data and our stream flow data, and we recommended to him that he basically put the whole state back under some sort of a drought declaration. We have now 23 additional counties in drought emergency as a result of that, and the rest of the state is either in a watch or a warning. And emergency is obviously the most dire condition, and what that enables us to do is provide emergency water supplies from our federal reservoirs and state fishing lakes for livestock producers and others that have emergency water supply need. But most notably, it's livestock producers that may need to fill tanks from an alternate source, and we make those lakes and reservoirs available to them. So that's basically, now you're going to see a new map that has all 105 counties under some sort of a drought declaration. And you might have noticed through declarations coming out of USDA that the Secretary of Agriculture at the federal level has also increased the number of drought declarations or counties eligible for drought disaster assistance through USDA, and I think we're up to 83 counties under that program. And so between the two, we try to make sure we have our bases covered. The one's more agriculturally oriented, and then we try to make sure that we're getting the word out to folks that the drought's not over. I think there's been a bit of a conception that with the rains that we received over the late summer last year, coupled with, somewhat of a snowy winter, that the drought's over. And we wanted to tell them that, conditions are not anywhere close to being out of the woods in terms of drought. And in fact, our average stream flow for the first part of the 2014, virtually statewide, is much below normal. And what that means is it causes our reservoir conditions to not recover. We'd like to see full reservoirs when we start get into the summer months, and we've got only 8 reservoirs of our 24 federal reservoirs in Kansas that are at or above normal conservation pool. So stream flow has a direct impact on our ability to store water to get through the summer months. Looking forward, the National Weather Service and NOAA is predicting continued drought for much of the state, particularly western and the south central part of the state. So we're trying to get people aware and prepared for what looks to be a dry summer.
Perfect. Well, when we come back from break, we're going to talk about the governor's 50-year water plan and Tracy being put in charge of that. You're watching Kansas Ag Report. We'll see you in just a minute.
This segment brought to you by Oldie Seed Farms, carrying soil-specific seed. Find them on the web at oldieseed.com. That's OHLDE seed.com. Farmers Insurance, your best protection against the unexpected. Call Agent Dan Key at 785-408-5459. Grass and Grain, online or in the mail, keeping Kansas farmers informed for over 60 years. grassandgrain.com. Blue River Traders, the finest selection of Western-style furniture for your home. BlueRiverTraders.com.
Tracy, thanks for staying with us this morning. Sure. I believe it was in November the governor came out and wanted a 50-year water plan and put you in charge of coming up with that plan. Walk us through, start to where we are now.
Well, you're correct. The governor at his water conference last fall did issue a call to action for really all of us Kansans to develop a vision for 50-year plan for our future water supply. He tagged my agency as well as the Department of Agriculture to lead that effort, along with help from all the other water-related agencies, but primarily on the front end to design and come up with a plan on how we were going to do that. Secretary McClaskey and her team and members of my staff and we've kind of formed the Water Vision team to start that effort. We spent the last several months since then doing a lot of outreach, over 150 different meetings around the state. I think the number's up to over 9,000 people we had an opportunity to talk to in those meetings, getting input on what they want to see their 50-year water supply look like. We are now in the process of kind of stopping that upfront input and drafting a first draft of what that vision might contain. Going to be a lot of the visions, obviously, as you might expect, going to ensure that we have a long-term supply of water to meet our basic needs and the ability to grow economically. So that's kind of the broader, what I'm anticipating the big picture to say, but how you get there is the trick. And so we're focused on the Ogallala Aquifer and our system of reservoirs primarily, but we have a lot of other water issues that are deserving of attention in this 50-year water plan, including water quality, recreation, infrastructure needs, and they all tie together. A lot of times we have water, plenty of water in places, but we don't have the distribution in place. And so when you start looking at infrastructure needs, it's not all about just the physical presence of water, but it's where is it and who needs it. Mm-hmm. And so we're working on a lot of different strategy ideas to put into the draft right now that will contain some of these ideas. So in July, starting on July 7th, the whole week of July 7th, we're going to have 12 public meetings across the state where we're going to basically unveil an initial draft. After that, we will refine that draft with input from those public meetings and another round of meetings to interest groups and organizations getting their reaction to the first draft. We will refine that and then have a draft that we'll present to the governor and to Kansas at the next Governor's Water Conference, which is next November.
Right. Long-term plan, and we just got a few seconds here. A long-term plan that you're looking at right now, is it going to basically boil down to conservation or cutting back? Is there going to be a need for both of those?
All of the above. What we've received in input so far have 4 major categories: new sources of supply, conservation, water management, and new crops and new technologies that will help us manage our water resources. So we're kind of designing our vision document under those 4 major categories.
As we look at ways to improve crop production to feed our growing world, K-State Research and Extension is exploring ways to collaborate with researchers and producers in Australia. Grain industry and communication specialists from both countries are looking at ways to form potential partnerships.
People that do the same sorts of jobs as us, it's remarkable how small the world is. Really the same issues confront people in the same sorts of jobs wherever you are.
Our growers are producing many of the same crops, have all the same needs that your growers do, and are using many of the same technologies. So we're going to come away from this trip with a lot of information about how those technologies can best be utilised by researchers to communicate with end users.
Australia is a major ally of the United States, and they're just very interested in how we approach our agriculture, how we approach extension, and I know throughout this trip they have just been amazed at what they're watching and the research.
The whole trip's probably exceeded our expectations. I think I can probably safely say that for the whole group. What we've learnt and the networks we've made have exceeded what we had hoped, and also probably there's some surprises. I've travelled a bit in the United States before, but just the depth and the way that your extension systems through the state universities and land grants are integrated right throughout the community, and we can learn from a lot of your approaches, but also vice versa. There's things that we do in Australia, and we're a big agricultural country. There's opportunity for a two-way flow, and those opportunities have probably exceeded our expectations.
When you have a chance to travel, to meet others, to listen to how they approach their problems, their issues, as I say, it broadens our horizons. It makes us rethink, I think, a bit how we do what we do. And at the same time, you learn to appreciate even more what we're doing, and when you feel like you can help people.
Anything that can extend science out to the public, to the using public, is a good thing. And it seems that, as I said, because we've got so much in common, the collaboration opportunities. Even though we're in different countries, there are some things we can help each other with, and that has become really clear from today's fantastic visit you guys have given us from Kansas State. There are things that we both can help each other with in our scientific and extension communities, so I think we're heading in the right direction, yeah.
If you'd like to advertise your business on Kansas Ag Report, give us a call at 785-554-5974.
This segment brought to you by Renzi Seeds, Midwest growers' best ally for over 70 years. RenziSeeds.com, RENZE Seeds.com. A.B. Flint Motor Company, selling quality used cars and trucks in Southeast Topeka at 32nd and South Kansas Avenue. Integrity Gun and Pawn, 2 Topeka locations specializing in firearms and training. IGPawn.com to learn more. Impact Satellite, your local authorized DirecTV dealer. Impact Satellite at 785-554-5974.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Trending now at Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, Kia and Dodge, Ford and Jeep, all at one location. Kia, affordable, stylish, reliable. Ram, rugged, spacious, powerful. Ford, legendary, dependable, tough. Jeep, off-road, on-road, limitless possibilities. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza, I-70 and Highway 77 in Junction City.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.
The producer-funded Kansas Wheat Innovation Center was built to get improved varieties into the hands of farmers faster. Kansas Wheat, farmers advancing their future through wheat genetics research.
Over the past 30 years, Dick Edwards in Manhattan has been building strong personal relationships, starting the moment you walk through the door with a sales team committed to meeting your car buying needs and carrying over into our service department with technicians able to handle all of your vehicle's upkeep. We've always been upfront and honest with our pricing, offering amazing financing offers and warranty packages. If you've shopped with us before, you know that the customer always comes first. Stop in and see us. Dick Edwards in Manhattan, 2 miles east of the Town Center Mall on Highway 24.
This hog is head-over hoof for meal made from U.S. soybeans. Now, one hog isn't that impressive, but suppose we add another, and another, and another. Before long, you've got billions of hungry customers around the world all clamoring for the same thing. Our soybeans. Learn more about the billion-dollar appetite of animal agriculture at BeyondTheElevator.com. Brought to you by America's soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Since 1983, the Hydrobed has been utilized on cattle operations throughout North America. The Hydrobed equips your 3/4 or 1-ton truck for hay handling and feeding. Variable speed cable controls or the optional wireless remote enable you to haul, transport, and unroll 2 round bales weighing up to 3,000 pounds each. A mechanical free float automatically compensates for uneven ground and out of round bales, isolating you and the truck from impact of bale unrolling. To find out how the Hydrobed can improve your feeding efficiency, call or visit us on the web at triple-c-inc.com.
The U.S. House and Senate both have approved a bill containing positive changes to the Spill Prevention, Control, and Countermeasures program for farms. Current regulations state that a farm must have an SPCC plan and containment if it stores in aggregate more than 1,320 gallons of oil or fuel products in containers larger than 50 gallons and could reasonably be expected to discharge into waters of the United States. The legislation would change that law to require an SPCC plan only if a farm stores in aggregate 6,000 gallons or more of oil or fuel products. In addition, containers holding 1,000 gallons or less and all animal fat containers will not be counted when aggregating total oil or fuel storage. However, language in the bill specifies if a study conducted by the Environmental Protection Agency and USDA finds there is a significant risk of discharge from farms, the aggregate threshold could be lowered to 2,500 gallons next year. The House vote was 412-4, while the Senate passed it 91-7. The law now awaits President Barack Obama's signature before becoming law. Throughout this process, the National Cattlemen's Beef Association and Kansas Livestock Association worked with members of Congress to raise the aggregate level of fuel storage and to exempt fat tanks.
Good morning. I'm Eric Osterhaus with Paragon Ag, and this is our look at the grain markets this week. Both the corn and the wheat markets have seen a pullback from the early May highs as we've seen what appears to be a buy the rumor, sell the fact market. We had seen risk premium being added in recent weeks in 2 regards, the Ukraine and the slow pace of corn seeding. As both these concerns have eased, we've seen these markets break support levels and trade lower. Additionally, we've seen wheat prices in the EU falling to a 2.5-month low. This has added to the bearish undertone, as the general view is that as world wheat prices go, so goes U.S. export demand. Potentially, early harvest results or weather concerns could provide that friendly news that we need to change the tone in this market. Old crop corn has traded off the early May highs, but a firming of basis has shown that there is still good demand being shown from both the livestock and the ethanol sectors. The new crop corn is in the ground, and in the near term we'll look to weather forecasts as we monitor growing conditions. Moving on to the soybean complex. This market is one of polar opposites. Old crop beans continue to look for evidence that the U.S. supply is being rationed, while new crop continues to be concerned regarding the potential for a record crop. There is concern that bean acres may increase into the June 30th planted acres report, and that with a good growing season, we may see our ending stocks increase to an 8-year high. For questions regarding any of these markets, please call us at 888-452-8751.
Closed captioning brought to you by Dick Edwards in Manhattan, selling America's #1 truck, the Ford F-150, for over 30 years. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers. kansassoybeans.org.
Ag Risk Solutions. Experience, knowledge, integrity. Your crop insurance solution, Ag Risk Solutions. Dick Edwards Auto Plaza in Junction City, home of this year's Motor Trend Truck of the Year, Ram Truck. DickEdwardsAuto.com.
Well, that's our show for today. I hope you'll join us each week for more news and information about agriculture in the state of Kansas. I'm Bryan Hallman, and thanks for watching.
Here at Blue River Traders, we have the greatest selection of rustic and western furniture in Kansas.
At Blue River Traders, you can select from an inventory of rustic lodge or western furnishings. With a designer on hand, Blue River Traders will help create the look you desire.
Imagine having someone help you pick the best corn hybrids for every field on your farm. Your Oldie representative can combine your data with his data to offer a field-by-field prescription. Contact Oldie Seed today at 877-692-4555.
Tammy the Pro Home Plus is all about providing warmth and kindness to aging individuals who find it difficult to live on their own. Tammy's team is made up of experienced caregivers and nurses committed to the highest level of individualized care, focusing on health and well-being, and assisting with nutrition, grooming, medications, therapies, and daily living needs, all in a warm, caring environment. Call Tammy the Pro Home Plus today at 785-383-7094 to learn how we can help.